So what you're looking at right now is CCTV footage from a raid that Israeli forces just carried out in a hospital in the West Bank. A dozen IOF soldiers entered the hospital dressed in plainclothes undercover and killed 3 unarmed Palestinians in their beds, claiming that they're members of the H group. And I think this really exemplifies what I think is going to be one of the most terrifying effects that comes from this entire conflict. Because even outside of the death, the destruction, the dehumanization of Palestinian people that's actively going on right now, there's also just the normalization of these war crimes that's going to have cascading effects on every war that we have from now on. There's this concept called the Overton Window, which is basically a way of saying the ideas that we as the general public find acceptable. And what Israel has been doing since the beginning of this conflict, and really since the beginning of their occupation, is gradually shifting the Overton Window gradually more extreme in their favor. If you remember, in the beginning of this conflict, there was the raid on Al-Shifa Hospital in Gaza City. Israel spent weeks leading up to that raid trying to justify what they were about to do. They released 3D renderings of fake tunnels under the hospital. They released fake audio recordings of supposed interviews with H group members saying that there are tunnels under the hospital. And then when the raid finally did happen, there's obviously a lot of outrage from us as the general public, but world leaders basically stayed silent and let it slide. And that signaled to Israel that this was now okay because nothing really happened to them. And what we've seen since then is a deliberate and targeted campaign on every functioning hospital all throughout the Gaza Strip. And now in January 2024, we have Israel conducting raids in hospitals outside of Gaza in the West Bank. And this is a clear sign that the Overton window has now shifted to be even more extreme. The message that Israel is sending by doing something like this to every single warmongering autocrat or dictator is that now hospitals are on the table. And I think this also crystallizes why it's really important that we as citizens in the West keep pressuring our leaders to condemn these actions of Israel. The more of these war crimes that Israel is actively normalizing, the worse it's going to be for all of us from now on. So yeah, if you haven't yet, please give your local representatives a call. Demand a permanent ceasefire and an ending to all funding to the Israeli occupation, because a world where this is the norm is frankly not a world that I want to live in.